All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and citations to welcome teach all truth and sincerity. This is a response video to Elder Yasha Wamba's um, video. The elder brother from Dallas. And I'm gonna read. I'm a response to this video with scriptures that came to mind as I was listening to the video. Um, so I'm gonna read. The first scripture is Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. The prophets. This is Jeremiah 28 verse 8 says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence." Because before destruction comes upon a kingdom, before destruction comes upon a place, Yahweh shall always sets up his prophets to come and warn the people before the destruction comes. Martial law is going to come upon this land, and Jacob's trouble is upon us, and the prophets have been warning the people for years, 30 plus years, and the warning, soon the prophets are going to be taken off the streets, and they're not going to be warning the people no more. As the scriptures say, the famine of word is coming. Not just the famine, but also the prophets being out on the street corners. That is the famine of the word, and that's coming soon. I'm gonna go to Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 4. It says, "And the Egyptians will I give over." Let me read that again. It's Isaiah 19 verse 4. It says, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh, Yahweh of hosts." And that cruel Lord is our our President Trump. He's that cruel Lord. He's going to invoke martial law. He's going to be the spark that invokes World War III. Because his policies and how he's moving is going to upset everybody in the world over in those other countries. So they're going to come against Babylon, America, because of our leader, who's a cruel Lord and a fierce king. Because. But I'm gonna move on and go to another scripture that came to mind as I was listening and taking heed to this video. This is Ezekiel chapter 33 and I'll start at verse 32. Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 32. It says, "And lo, thou art unto them a very lovely song, of one that have a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not." That's how the prophets are to the people. Where a lovely song. They hear us, but they don't hear us. They see what they see things, but they don't see. You know, basically their eyes and ears are blinded. They're not taking heed to the warning, and since they're not going to take heed to the warning, they're going to be destroyed in the end. You know, it says verse 33, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know a prophet will have been among them. And when all these prophecies and things come to pass, when the chaotic times hit this place, they're going to look for the prophets. And at that time, the prophets are not going to be found. And they're going to know, those men who were out on the street corners wearing those garments they call dresses. They're going to know those are the prophets, the men of the Lord that Yahweh shall set up. Um, and and I was also going to bring out this one, which is First Thessalonians 5 verse 3. This First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3, Salaki for stuttering. But anyway, this First Thessalonians 5 verse 3 says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Um, and this scripture came to mind as the brother was speaking. Um, um, dang, Salaki, I brought this out because um dang, I'm trying to think of why I brought this out, but it has something to do with you know Trump and um but Salaki, I was thinking of uh uh anyway, I'm gonna move on because I forgot why I was gonna bring this out. Uh, dang. Let me uh let me move on and bring out one of the scriptures that the brother was speaking on in the video. This is Psalms. Lord willing, that thought comes back to me, and I'll just read that and bring that out and just make that point right quick. Um, this is Psalms um 119, 126. It says, "It is time for thee, Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law." You know, and Yahweh Shem is going to bring judgment upon Babylon, upon this wicked place, um, and destroy this place because this place is a lawless, wicked society, and it needs to be destroyed because the sins have reached up to the heavens, and the Lord is tired of this wicked place. He's tired of Esau and the Gentiles' rule. Um, and I'm gonna go and get another scripture that the brother brought out. This is Ezekiel 21, number verse 9 through 12. This is Ezekiel 21, verse 9. It says, "Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh, say, a sword is sharpened, also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. He hath given it to the furbished, and that it may be handled. His sword is sharpened, it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. Cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people, it shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terror by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh." Because 2/3 of our people will perish on this side, in Babylon, and also, you know, uh, you know, and I was gonna get Wisdom of Solomon, because the brother also mentioned this in the video, Wisdom of Solomon 3 and verse 19. It says, for horrible is in the unrighteous generation, because this generation is the worst generation of them all, because this is a very, unrighteous generation, adulterous generation. We're an adulterous generation. Um, you know, uh, and I'm get another one. Uh, this is Jeremiah 18, and I'm gonna read 18 uh through 23. It's Jeremiah 18, 18. It says, "Then said they, come and let us devise devices against Jeremiah. For the law shall not perish from the priests, nor counsel from the wise, nor word from the prophets. Come and let us smite him with the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of his words." These wicked people come against the prophets, um, slander the prophets, you know, you know, that's why a lot of brothers are, well, we are all in that spirit of, fuck these people, these wicked people, 2/3 of our people who are not, a part of the truth, who are not down with Yahweh Bashim Yashai. We're basically, like the scriptures say, don't pray for these people, because they're a wicked, generation, and they need to perish so we can get the kingdom. Get the Give heed to me, O Yahweh, and hearken to the voice of them that contend with me. Shall evil be recompensed for good, or for they have digged a pit for my soul? Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them, and to turn away thy wrath from them. It says, therefore, deliver up their children to the famine, and pour out their blood by the force of the sword. Let their wives be bereaved of their children, and let their wives be bereaved of their. Let me say that again. And let their wives be bereaved of their children, and be widows, and let their men be put to death, and let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. Let a cry be heard from their houses, when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them, for they have digged a pit to take me, and hide snares for my feet. It says, yet, Lord, thou knowest all their counsel against me to slay me. Forgive not their iniquity, neither blot out their sin from thy sight, but let them be overthrown before thee, and deal thus with them in the time of thy anger. So let judgment be upon their entire, all these wicked people's households. Let them all perish and die, and have sorrow in their households. You know, don't pray for these people. Don't forgive their iniquities. Let them be judged. Um, you know, for all the wicked things they imagine against, the prophets of the Lord. And I believe Jeremiah 15 verse 3 talks about don't pray for these people, or no. It talks about let them be slain, uh, by these different uh, judgments. So this is Jeremiah 15 verse 3. It says, I will appoint over them for four kinds, saith Yahweh, the sword to slay, the dogs to tear, the fowls of the heaven, the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. So all these different judgments fall upon these wicked people who come against the men of the Lord, the prophets, the 2/3 of our people who don't take heed to the warning, you know, you know, and who are, going to be destroyed in this, when, World War III is in full effect. So anyway, I'm gonna say all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you, Wakachi, all true sincerity. Shalom.